This is Cafe, and today is Wednesday, the last day for the month of May. We thank God that He accepts us. It's not by our making, but by the Spirit of God Almighty that we are alive this morning. Many have gone to the great beyond. Yorubani or your wall. Abi? Or your wall. We are just thanking God for sparing our lives. And this morning we'll be looking at something very, very important. On the 29th day of May, the president, the brand new president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, was inaugurated with his vice presidential president there, Kashim Shettima, and they have since resumed duty. We're going to look at the inaugural speech of Mr. President. He titled that speech, The Nigerian Ideal. That was the title of the speech. And we're going to look at it, 1, 2, 3, some of the contents. And to answer my question this morning is a barrister at law, Barrister Adebisi Kayode. And it's my pleasure welcoming you to the studio this morning.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Nigerians, let's start from the word go. The president said, my love for this nation is abiding.
Yes.
If the president loves us, I think that's the first point to start. And is a commandment from God himself, whether in the Islamic way or the Christian way. Love thy neighbor. So, because there are some policies of previous administrations that does not portray them as loving us. Is that true?
Well, very true. Very, very true. Because even the immediate past presidents said, I belong to everyone, I belong
to nobody.
But people have been interpreting that statement in different ways. How can a coach just be watching players on the field, just like ministers, just be doing what you like, without coordinating them? So the end result is fatal and very calamitous. That was the reason why the former Minister of Education would say, I never knew anything
about education.
Policy.
And it was there for a solid year. And was given direction.
The money,
wrong one anyway.
The public money, the resources were deployed to him. So, but as far as we know, even from the Lagos experience, you know how to manage
human,
how to assemble the best brains, notwithstanding your political affiliations. So that's why he said that my love is not just in mouth, but in practice you will see that I want to take this nation to where the nation deserves.
He said, my confidence in its people, unwavering. My faith in God Almighty, absolute. I know that His hand shall provide the needed moral strength and clarity of purpose in those instances when we seem to have reached the limit of our human capacity. Before the 2023 elections, there are so many insinuations around that this election is going to be the last. Nigeria may not remain the same again. Nigeria will tear apart. Nigeria will do this. Nigeria will do this. But thank God that we are able to the storm. Here we are today. So, what will you say about that?
Well, they said the same thing in 2015.
Said the same thing in 2015?
That maybe that will be the political nadir of Nigeria. That will be the end. But even some Americans, political analysts, even also predicted that Nigeria may not escape or go beyond that 2015. But here we are today. We were able, based on our own resilience, our commitment, and belief in this nation, we weathered the storm and we succeeded. So 2023 too, because of the fact that the immediate past president actually divided the country along ethnic and religious line in terms of appointment, and it did not change despite the complaint. That was some people who are saying that we don't know whether we can survive this general election because APC presented Muslim. They believe that they want to colonize or Islamize Nigeria. But the APC leaders kept on assuring them that we are not going to do that. It is not even possible to Islamize Nigeria because it's a multi-ethnic and multi-religious linguistic people. So
you are saying kind of Okobale?
Yes, you should be very assured that even from the word go now, we have been seeing some appointments being made now. It reflected that he actually want to assemble people from different political zones, because it is about getting the results that will be beneficial to the Nigerians.
Now, we look at our country. He mentioned it, and let me quote him now. We have endured hardship that will have made other societies crumble. We have endured hardship that will have made other societies crumble. Here we are. Are we going to continue in that endurance? Or is it going to change the narratives? Because in that speech, unequivocally, he said, fuel subsidy is gone 2 days ago. And here we are this morning. You know what we started witnessing all over the country. Queues resumed. And people are buying panicking. And we can see now, because I was listening to inside the papers on my way here, he said, we're going to pay between 600 or 700 naira for a liter of oil. Is that not hardship coming our way again?
Well, I would have expected that before they even made the announcement.
Yeah.
They should have put some palliative on grants, some measures on grants, like set up a task force committee,
okay,
that will ensure that these petrol marketers will not just be going gaga, doing anything, whatever they like. So that when you now announce the removal, even when the existing subsidy period is between now and July, have not been foreclosed, then all the petrol you have in your tanker, you can still
in your underground tank.
You can still lift another one up to July,
okay,
on the same market price. So why are you now increasing it just because of the announcement, intention of the government? So they should have put up the task force so that they will ensure that these people are.
Can we blame the marketers? That's their business.
We cannot blame them legally speaking, but morally, they are human beings. They should feel. I mean, we have some of them, like I don't want to mention, that are still selling within the limit. So everybody knows that particular petrol station, and the person is making his own profit too. But they should be morally conscious, conscionable, and know that we are all Nigerians. We are suffering together.
Now let's see the content of that speech, because we will ask ourselves, what will this man do to education? What will it do to our Greek? What will it do to our economy? What will it do to our security? And so on and so forth. I open the page where the promises are highlighted. The following are his promises. The principles that will guide our administration are simple. Nigeria will be impartially governed according to the Constitution and the rule of law. Easier said than done. With what we have witnessed in this country in the past.
Yes, because of his own caliber and leadership. Because we need a leadership that is like a philosopher or a sage. Not somebody that will just be there and want to acquire material things, but a sage, a statesman like him. We want to ensure that he leave a legacy that is enduring. I want my name to be etched in gold, just like American Washingtons, all those people in the world. So that is the intention of Tinubu. He does not want them to be Nigerian president, but at least generation to come in the world will be remembering him for certain particular achievements. That is why he said in Lagos, when he was there, he set up a lot of legal framework, like the rapid response. Because when we came in, there were a lot of crimes in Lagos State. Didn't defeat a modern state capital. Within the twinkling of an eye, he has changed the narrative in Lagos State. So that is man who believes he has sent people like the prior president Osibajo, the former president Osibajo, who turn around the state Lagos State legal framework with notable introduction of laws. So he know how to not only ensure that the law was, but actually ensure that those people that are working with him, they are also abiding by the law.
Okay. Now let me quote him here. I shall serve with prejudice towards none, but compassion and amity towards all.
Yes, but I cannot say
because are we to be assured?
Yeah, we cannot say because it's Yoruba, let me just put him as a Yoruba. No, compassion, and to be fair to all, whether you are Igbo, you are Hausa or Fulani, whatever you are. The only concern he has that the person is competent in You say I want to form government of national competence.
National competence.
Not just unity.
Okay.
What of the unity without being competent?
He said, we shall defend the nation from terror and all forms of criminality that threatens the peace and stability of our country and our sub-region.
Yes. In that way, they have to change the security architecture. Like people have been saying, why can't you use drones? Drones can go as many as thousands of miles and locate where people are being kept in the Sambisa forest or anywhere. Just use the infantry soldiers to complement on the ground. It's only through the technology that the American was able to nab Bin Laden 10 years after the terrorists. So if you deploy drones and we have people that are sincere that are monitoring it, then before we load all these bandits will go.
He promised to remodel our economy, to bring out growth and development through job creation, food security, and an end of extreme poverty.
Yeah, that's the best.
That had been promises about promises by previous administrations.
Tinubu we know that is the best area. Economy, financial guruness, if I may say that. He knows how to turn around the Nigerian economy. He knows the policy to apply. He knows the people to put in the policy for implementation. And even know the partners, the foreign partners to deal with. He knows the capitalists that just want to come here and make profit, and those ones that are ready to also contribute to the development of the country.
In that administration, women and youth will feature prominently.
Yes. He say, if possible, 25% affirmative can be implemented on him. Give the women leadership position, those of them that are qualified and competent, and the youth to groom them for the future. Even said it that even before when I was about to hand over, possibly after my 8 years, I want to hand over somebody who is lesser in age, who is younger than me in age.
Our government will continue to take proactive steps, such as championing a credit culture to discourage corruption while strengthening the effectiveness and efficiency of the various anti-corruption agencies.
Yes, because fighting corruption is not that easy than to prevent corruption. If we set up the framework whereby, even if you are going to steal, you still need to sweat. Because there will be a mechanism of ground that will detect, that will prevent that stealing. Instead of saying we are pursuing them with the EFCC, cases going to court 10 years, nothing. So preventive is better than curative.
On economy, our president promised that we target a higher GDP growth and to significantly reduce unemployment.
Yes, if they are able to revive the local economy. That when we are talking about GDP, just imagine, unless you revive your local industry, this small cottage industry, GDP cannot grow.
But Tinubu is the Asiwaju of APC. They went around the country in 2015 telling us that they're going to repair a refinery. 8 years time, no repair. Our refineries are still moribund.
Yeah, because Tinubu was not the one that did the work. He helped the person to get the job, and you cannot teach him how to do the job. Buhari refused to incorporate him. They sidelined him. It's in public knowledge.
Where is the party supremacy?
Well, the use of party supremacy in Nigerian politics today is very that's not that so realistic, because by the time the governor or the president is sworn in now, they see him as
he becomes the leader of all.
The leader of all. So when it's going even astray and the party calls his attention, it's more or less advisory, because the Nigerian president was sworn in as the president of Nigeria, not as the president of the party. So there is little the president can be controlled under the presidential system, but in the parliamentary system, the party actually has much more to say, because you will be marched through the party.
Okay. I am quoting something here, and I've underlined the word must. My administration must create meaningful opportunities for our youth. We shall honor our campaign commitment to 1 million new jobs in the digital economy. Yes. We must. That is what he said. My administration must. Press, we are sitting at the corner. We'll be watching. Or what do you say about that?
Yes.
1 million job in digital economy.
Yes. The digital world now, we all know, even your phone, you can be doing a lot of things on it. Just for him to create a platform. We have so many talented Nigerian youths, but the former President Buhari misperceive them as if they are lazy. They are not lazy. They only need the encouragement. Some of them need like stipend to start with. So if you are able to flood them with the digital world, it will create a lot of jobs for them.
Now, under agriculture, he promised that the livestock sector will be introduced to best modern practices and steps taken to minimize the perennial conflict over land and water resources in this sector. We are living witnesses of Benue. In fact, I don't know if people of that state can say this is the number of people that have been killed here because of land.
It's more or less like genocide because so many communities have been wiped away. Not only in Benue, we have some part of Kaduna, Southern Kaduna. The Nasarawa is there. Even in Sampara, these gold miners masquerading as banditry. So, but I know if you can dust the Awolowo policy on agriculture in the southwest, we experimented it. We help us if we can use it nationally. Bring these local farmers, bring them on board, encourage them financially, and set up the agricultural extensive officers that will go into the farm, buy their products, ready market, sell it. By that time, you encourage more young people to go into agriculture.
Okay. If we must do all this, we need adequate infrastructure.
Yes.
On infrastructure, the president promised we shall continue the efforts of the Buhari administration on infrastructure progress towards national network of roads, rails and ponds shall get priority attention.
Yes. That is the key issue of Asiwaju presidency. If they are able, if they don't give Nigeria a new constitution, but at least they should sell the load from the federal. 50% of the load should be given to the states. Let the state be generating their own electricity. Let them having their own pricing. In the area of water resources, let them control. So if you reduce the works of the federal government, then the state governors will not have the excuse. Give them more resources so that they can develop. They are more closer to their people, their local people, than the federal government. For you, your own is to coordinate this regional government. But if you continue in the present system now, we have federal government is collecting 52%, remaining being shared by other 2 tiers of government.
They promised us in 2015 that they're going to restructure.
Yes.
8 years after, have they been able to do that, APC?
It's because of the personality of Buhari that just left. The man that even railroaded him into the power was sidelined. But to him now, he wants to leave the legacy that will be enduring, not only for him, but for Nigeria when he leaves the office. Because whether or not he likes it, he will still be a Nigerian after leaving the office. So why can't you do at the best opportunity?
Senator Tinubu called the presidency his lifelong ambition.
Yes.
Now, we were told at a point that there was some cabal that were dictating the pace for the former president.
Yes.
Are we going to witness the same thing under President Tinubu presidency?
It's not possible because this Buhari we know only know little or nothing about governance. I can say it anywhere. That is why he said, I belong to everyone, I belong to no one. Under his own regime, the former Attorney General Malami will be saying that it's only what they determine as a rule of law that they will comply with when there is a same judgment of the court. If you were to be a Tinubu, I know that Attorney General will be sacked the following day or even that very minute. That means that person portraying your government in bad light. So many see the same thing like Ngigi and some other ministers. But president like Tinubu, who have been preparing, who have been a member of NADECO and have gone through all the of Nigeria, he has the requisite experience to steer the ship of Nigeria. Nobody can just come and bring any policy or just make any idea without strong that idea before you now pilot it for public usage. So I know very well that you will not disappoint Nigerians.
You will not disappoint Nigerians.
Disappoint us.
I'm saying it again, Carlo for Kobale.
Yes, we should be right as well that what he has said that even part of the program of MK Abiola, that's why he call it Renew. If you remember, Abiola called himself Hope 93. In
1993 it was Hope.
Yeah, he now renewed.
In 1999, when Baba Obasanjo came, it was Hope.
Under PDP. They are not under the same platform.
I know. I'm just mentioning our leaders.
Yes.
Dr. Ogunode Ebele Jonathan, who said, oh, I don't have shoes. Yes. I remember.
Yes.
Now I am going to do it. and crisis here and there.
Yes, but they are leaders, but they are still leaders.
They are leaders and they are leaders.
Their leaders are different.
We will invite you back into this studio.
I will still hold on to my word that today is the 31st of May. As I said this, the man will know very well. Even immediately yesterday they started hitting the ground running. The vice president was in office being briefed by Abba Kyari and Emefiele. So
now monetary policy, the CBN just woke up in a day and said we are changing the face of our naira.
Yes, that one's political. Everybody knows. They made sure that petroleum was very scarce to ensure that Tinubu did not emerge. But the man knows, he has so many informants, he himself is very alert. He has even envisaged that this thing will happen because the cabal and the presidency didn't want him to be president. Up to the last minute of Buhari, was he borrowing money to cause more trouble for him.
That's one major thing that we're going to discuss. We are from the same political party. I'm going away, you are coming in. And I keep on borrowing, piling up debt here and there. Now where will Tinubu get money to run the affairs of the government?
Yeah, the man was so talented in generating ideas. You know, Lagos State was in 600 million when he came in. But before he left, it was 14 billion. Later, Fasola built up to now, they are having about 60 billion at least on monthly in Lagos State. So he knows. He promised that he won't do double taxation. Yeah, he said so. Even he said the Naira design will be looking to that was already implemented. So many things have been on the pipeline that he has already prepared.
Okay.
It's for us now to assemble and Nigeria to cooperate with him because he even said that this is the proudest life of my time of my life.
Okay.
But the joy is not for me alone; it's for all of us.
Okay, we are waiting.
Yes.
On foreign policy, President Tinubu said, "Given the world in which we reside, please permit me a few comments regarding foreign policy. The crisis in Sudan and the turn from democracy by several nations in our immediate neighborhood are of pressing concern."
Yes.
Now, Russia, Ukraine, they are fighting there, and we are feeling the brunt here. Sudan, we are feeling it here. Now, if we would not feel it, the regional integration, how are they going to do it? Would there be a common front, the AU? Would there be a common front, the ECOWAS, to address all these issues? Because the problem of one is a problem of all. Yes. We cannot say because we are Nigeria and we are Nigeria, we won't look at what is happening in Ghana. We won't say because we are Nigeria, we won't say what is happening in South Africa. You remember the story of xenophobia.
Yes.
You remember how many Nigerians were affected. So, on foreign policy, what do you expect of President Tinubu to do?
First and foremost, himself is an international person. He's an experienced person. Apart from assembling the diplomats that are well seasoned, Nigerian policy has always been non-alignment when it comes to this Europe, the Americans, and the Oriental, the Chinese. So, in terms of economy, he knows the country to actually relate with. The country that will bring investment to the country, that will put their own cards on the table. That at the end of the day, we are going to exchange the balance of trade, not just importing.
How will you want him to handle education?
Education should be handled first and foremost. It's in the concurrent list. Is to appoint somebody that is the rank penny rank.
Not the likes of Adamu.
Not the one that will bring trouble and trouble. The meaning of Adamu, Idamu, trouble and trouble. But somebody that will bring joy, that will bring resounding educational policy. Like this of us now, the judgment source came in from National Industrial Court that the 8-month strike they went to was illegal. But we don't want a situation whereby there will be continuous incessant strike again. Let the necessary budgetary allocation be given to these universities. We are just establishing more. Buhari signed about so many private universities before he left office. Whereas the public ones are not being catered for. What do you hope for the poor man who cannot afford the private university? So we should give necessary allocation, adequate funding to the ASU, the universities. And at the same time, training should be there in the university. And the private towers should also be checked in terms of corruption among them. people that are not ready to work, they should be weeded out. And more so, the Minister of State for Education, if possible, should be jettisoned.
Yeah, are you talking of education alone? Because there have been crises among one minister, the senior minister, the junior minister. I don't see the need for it.
That's what I'm going to. It's like wasting the resources of the country. The governor said that the presidents are appoint each of the state a minister. So why are you now duplicating it? So if you think that a minister in your ministry cannot cope or cannot actually be effective, then you have other way of ensuring that you have somebody from the state that will just cooperate with him. You don't need to have two ministers for the federal government doing the same work. Even at the end of the day, the so-called minister.
You remember what happened between Ngige and this barrister? What is his name now? Keyamo.
Yes, I remember. So, to me, we should be able to minimize our resources. Let it be only one minister.
Now, we keep on saying that our own democracy is too expensive.
Yes.
Is President Tinubu going to continue with that?
Well, it's a very 50-50 situation because, you know, all these politicians, they will still need to sacrifice certain interests, no matter whether we like it or not.
At our expense?
Because they are contributed more way to...
At our expense?
At the expense of the people, yes. But it's not supposed to be ideally. But if he can reduce it to the barest minimum.
What advice do you have for the president?
Advice I have for him is that he should not forget where he started from. The people of Nigeria, over 80 million people that voted for him, because it was a very cleanly contested election in the state of Nigeria with the use of beavers. So he should remember them, and his focus will be on the poor, not the rich at the expense of the poor. Refineries, our own, you should try as much as possible. Whether they are going to concession this for one, if they cannot revamp it, but at least we should have our own public refineries competing with private refineries.
That's what we will say.
That's what I have for him, and should also abide by the rule of law. Other tiers of government, it should be carried along.
We are not talking about restructuring.
I said it the other time.
Okay.
I said if that's the key center of his governance. If they cannot give Nigerians another conference, the past conferences, the 2014
should be looked into.
Even that of Abacha period, you should look at how are we going to recalibrate our country, how are we going to rejig our economy through a new political and legal reforms, so that Nigeria will see that we are now having truly a new dawn, a new era.
Okay. Viewers out there, this is where we're going to call it a day this morning, rather this month,
Yes.
Because on our guest segment of the program, when we come here tomorrow, we will be in the new month.
Yes.
And new month, we wish the government of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu the best,
Yes.
as they continue to steer the ship of the country. I will wish Senator Kasim Chetima as well the best as they continue to work for us. So, Master,
It's a pleasure.
thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
I remain your sister and also coming, Oyebayo. Good morning.